Hey there, Business Freedom Podcast listeners. Another good, bad, ugly edition of the podcast. And this is Lars Hedenborg. I'm founder of Real Estate B School, co-founder of High Performance Real Estate Advisors out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we're going to talk about really how to get ready for the shift. So there's going to be a challenge I'm going to put on you today, is to make sure you're a good steward of the opportunity to compete in a shift. You know, I built my real estate business in a shift, and I grew every year for the first 6 years in real estate. And I got my license in 2006, got into real estate in 2007 as the market shifted here in Charlotte, and then grew it every year. And I did it with a very simple equation. And so if you're taking notes, this is definitely something you would want to take notes on. There's a framework and a model that I've been working on. And it's a three-part model where if you do the three things right, the byproduct will be your ability to scale your real estate business. And so the first part is attract, the second part is convert, and the third part is deliver. And so first of all, I built my real estate business. I didn't have to. I prospected and I lead generated. So it wasn't an easy journey for me necessarily. I was 12 to 15 hours on the phone, and I did a really good job of at least getting someone to ask a question, whether ask a question about a property, or they wanted a list of homes, or they wanted access to distressed sale properties, or they wanted a report on how to get top dollar when they listed their home. I was really good at sort of direct response marketing. So I was able to attract folks to me and then just have a diligent sort of focus on returning their call and following up and keeping them in a nurture sequence and forever email sequence, or getting them set up on property alerts or whatever it might be. And then the second part, I was really good and intentional and diligent about building my database. And today we call it a data bank, where really the value of your business is in your ability to systematically generate business from your database. And so we call that database and referral marketing. So you do want to have a few lead sources, right? You need lead sources. You need leads coming in, so attract, and then you need a database to be able to attract more business from people that know, like, and trust you. And so that's part number one. So the question for you to ask yourself is, when you think about your business, your real estate business, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being there's a never-ending and abundant flow of super high-quality buyer and seller leads into my business, or 1, I don't have any lead flow of any significance, and I haven't really figured out how to attract folks, buyers and sellers, prospects into my business. So where are you on that spectrum? 1, not so good, really bad, and 10, you are crushing it. And so that's number 1. Number 2 is convert. And there's 2 parts of convert, right? You need to be able to set an appointment for a buyer or seller consult. That's, you get them on the phone, or you're texting them, or you're emailing them, and they agree to meet with you. And then you set a consultation. That's the first conversion. Then at the consultation, you have to get them to show, first of all, show enough value for them to be able to show up. And then the second part, when they show, you have a buyer client acquisition process or a seller client acquisition process where they actually agree to do business with you. So there's 2 conversion rates. And the measure of real success here is your ability to convert prospects that you generate in step 1 into consultations and clients without you being involved in it. And even if you are involved in it, is it really systemized? Do you have buyer packets, buyer presentations, pre-list packets for sellers, listing packets, listing presentations, pricing tools that happen systematically without your involvement? That's a level 10 of convert. Level 1 is that, if you have a buyer consultation or a seller consultation, you don't really do any kind of consultation, right? You just, maybe a referral comes in for a buyer or seller, you sit down and you hope that they'll give you their business. You don't have a process or a system to earn their business and earn referrals as a result of servicing them, which brings us to number 3, which is deliver. But on number 2, what's the scale? How do you rate yourself? 1, I cannot convert systematically at all. really, really bad, to 10, my team, signs dozens and dozens of buyers and sellers, every week without me being involved in any of it. And so I'm on pretty much on a track and convert at this point. I'd give myself a 9 or a 10. Deliver, I think we have some work to do. But where are you with respect to convert? 1 to 10. And then on deliver, this is the easiest way for me to describe deliver is if you were to take your real estate business, your practice, or your team and stack it up against a service experience that you'll never forget. And so for me, it's like going into Nordstrom versus TJ Maxx, or going on a Disney cruise, going to Universal Studios versus going to a local, my local amusement park here. Everyone hates working there. So that's a level 1 experience. Disney cruises, in my opinion, I'm not a cruiser, quote unquote, but it's a level 10 experience. And so where are you on the spectrum? And so in deliver, this is, you get a buyer to agree to do business with you. You get a seller to agree to do business with you. Do you systematically deliver a world-class experience? Systematically deliver a world-class experience. And I mean world-class, like think of all the experiences you've had in a restaurant where it was an amazing experience, where they brought out, appetizers that you didn't pay for, and they had a champagne toast that you didn't expect, and they greeted you by your name a certain way. Or even fast food, a Burger King compared to, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, there's a different experience when you go into Chick-fil-A, right? It's my pleasure, and they all want to be there. It's not just a job for them, right? It's highly competitive. It's hard to get a job at Chick-fil-A, right? So where is your real estate, the way you serve buyers and the way you serve sellers, is it systematic and is it world-class? And when you look at those three, and if you're a solo agent and you're trying to attract, you're trying to convert, the 2-step convert, right? Face-to-face, and then get them to agree to do business with you, and then you're trying to deliver, it's just too much. And so traditional real estate agents are going to be severely challenged in the future. And so the only way to deliver a differentiated experience, and in my opinion, be in business in the future, is if you are making strides towards systemizing your ability to attract buyer and seller prospects, to convert buyers and sellers to loyal clients, and then they'll be able to deliver a differentiated experience systematically. You get those three right, and that's how you get the sweet spot of attract, convert, deliver, is your ability to scale your real estate business. To scale your business, but not have to scale your hours. So you're working less hours, you're making more money, you have less stress. And so that is the sweet spot, right? To build this thing out for buyers and sellers to get a better experience, for it not to rely on you at 100%. And as a byproduct of doing those things right, your business will naturally scale because you're not in the middle of it. It's not the genius with 1,000 helpers. And it doesn't mean you build a 25-person team, right? This could be a part-time assistant and a showing agent, or a full-time assistant, 2 buyers agents and a showing agent, right? It could be a 5-person team doing 150 to 200 sides, where you as the team leader, you're working, 40 to 45 hours a week, but you're not taking any evening or weekend appointments because you're doing listings only. And there's a standard rules of engagement to work with you. So that's what I'm talking about here. Your ability to set up the 3 pillars of your business, attract, convert, deliver, so that you could scale your business and get more time and money freedom and less stress. So anyway, it's a pretty simple, basic model, and it's not easy to pull it off, right? There's a lot of moving parts in it, and you need to be really sort of disciplined about, when you attract someone into your world, you need to make sure you're doing the right things to convert them. When you convert them into, they say yes to an appointment, you need to make sure they show. When they show, you need to make sure they sign. And when they sign, you need to make sure that you're giving them a great experience. So not only do they get under contract and then you close them and you get paid, but they're a client for life and they're going to refer business back to you and use you again when they get ready to sell their property or move again. So anyway, basic business training, yet the concepts are not followed by most of the real estate industry. 85% of real estate agents do not have a licensed assistant. So that means by definition, if you want to get paid $500,000 a year to be a real estate agent, and you want to work 2,000 hours, which is 40 hours a week, times 50 weeks, let's say you just take 2 weeks off. So 50 weeks at 40 is 2,000 hours. You want to make $500,000. That is $250 an hour that you need to work those 2,000 hours doing tasks that are worth $250 an hour. The challenge is in Attract, Convert, Deliver, 80%, if not 90% of the things you need to put in place are things that you can get others to do at 12 to 15, maybe $50 to $60 an hour. So most real estate agents don't make $50 an hour themselves because they're spending all their time either doing the $12 to $15 an hour tasks, or they simply don't know the steps to take to get themselves in a position to focus on $250 to $500 to $1,000 an hour tasks. We call these dollar productive activities. So there's probably 4 or 5 dozen different things you could do on a daily basis as a real estate agent, but do you know the 3, 4, 5 things that get you paid the big bucks so that you can actually scale your business and have a sustainable and, honestly, a business worth owning? We talk a lot about building a sustainable business, a self-managed team, but ultimately a business worth owning. So when you look at your business, is it a business worth owning? The time you're putting in for the money you're making, for the stress you're enduring, is it worth it? Write that down. And I want you to, every month, the first Monday of every month, I've challenged you guys in the past, if you've heard other podcast episodes, are you making the kind of money you want, working the hours you want with a stress level that's manageable? And if you answer no to that question, you've got to take action to change that for your future. All right, so Attract, Convert, Deliver. If you get those things right, it gives you the ability to scale your real estate business. And that is the holy grail of business ownership, is the ability to scale your business. All right, much love and respect. As I always say, this is not an easy business and it's super fun and challenging. Still a huge opportunity to build a team and build a business worth owning. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.